This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com. Just finished working out as I was discussing with the lovely Jenni Santana, who's making her pro wrestling in ring debut this Friday night, or this Saturday night, December 11th, at Southern Junction in Irving, Texas, against former NWA Women's Champion Queen Erica. Wow, the time has finally come.
I know it's come so quick. Like when I think about it, I literally got in the ring for the first time like 5 months ago, and now we're already here. So it's been a very quick journey and crazy, but it's been great. But it came way quicker than I had anticipated.
Yeah, it seemed, I guess it was only what, in June or May that we had our first interview where we first discussed this idea, and you've actually started training with somebody else. That kind of went as far as it could. Now you've been training with Sin Bowdy, who played Kazarni in WWE, and then you recently appeared in PCW Ultra, managing Scorpio, a legend, and you actually saw some action in the ring that day with Kevin Sullivan, and now you're only a couple days away from this match in Dallas. So why don't you talk a little bit about this journey that you've been on?
So, yeah, it's literally like 5 months and a week or two, a week, I think, because I figured it out yesterday. I was like contemplating about everything. And uh, I started off kind of slow, and then I switched trainers, which kind of made it progress a little faster, made me understand ring stuff a little bit better, moves and foundation, just ring awareness. I got to work with great people over at FSW who helped become my training partners. Who just I don't know. I think like for me, it's always been the more advanced people I train with, like I will kind of not, I mean, I'm not going to be like them. They've been wrestling for years, but like I think I can grow quicker if I'm with someone who's more experienced and who does it all the time because they know it like the back of their hand. So it's easier for them to describe things to me, and then I can feel the way that they move and kind of mimic that. So it's been great training at FSW with some of the people I train with. Brett a lot, and Matt Vandergriff. He's like been the main one, like super great with me, patient. And Sin is just an amazing trainer. We've worked so much. We train like at least 3 times a week. So it's been really good. But there's always going to be people who are like, she's not ready, she's not this, she's not that. Am I ready? I don't know. Like I'm super nervous, yes. But at the same time, like, I wasn't eat, sleeping, breathing wrestling for 5 months by any stretch of the imagination. I still had a jujitsu national championship to prepare for in the summer when I started this. I still had a world championship to prepare for when I started this, and I won both of those. So like I did those successfully. I also maintain a full-time job. So I'm putting 100% of me into it, but 100% of what I have, like those are also things that are important to me and like hurdles that I had to get through before I could 100% focus on wrestling. And the past few weeks and months, I would say, I've been 100% committed to it. Like I'm watching wrestling matches when I'm not in the ring, and I'm just trying to soak up everything that I can so that I can kind of regurgitate it out um, come Saturday.
And you are in your bedroom right now, and you're supposed to be intimidating your opponent. She might see this and see that you still sleep with dolls.
Not mine. That is my daughter's. Oh, she has stuff in here. No, that's not mine. I'm very intimidating. Very intimidating.
Somebody is asking if you could say what your full-time job is. Do you happen to be a dentist?
I am not a dentist. I work for the school district out here. So I'm not a teacher. I know that Tito works for the school district too. He's like a Spanish teacher. I'm not a teacher, but I also work for the school district, so that's kind of another thing, that we had in common. Our school out here has a magnet program. I'm the magnet coordinator. So,
And for anyone wondering why Tito still has to work, apparently he made absolutely no money in wrestling, according to him.
oh my god. I don't know.
So, so
Yeah.
what's it like training with Kazarni? Like, how is he as a trainer for those that have only seen him do his WWE stuff?
He is I think he's an amazing trainer. He actually pushes me really hard and doesn't like take it like I have amazing cardio, so like it's not that I'm gonna get tired in the ring or anything like that. But after taking like bump after bump, I sometimes am like, like, oh, that's probably enough. And he's like, no, you gotta do it like a million times. And like it's just not harshness, but like a good coach, like knows when to push you and then like when to back off. Like numerous times he's like, are you, hurt or you're injured? Like, what is it? Like, are you just sore? You can work through that. Are you like injured and you have to stop? And so just learning the difference between those two things and then just keep pushing myself. But I mean, he's great. We go through tape and like break down different matches, and then we'll look at stuff that I would like to do or that I think I could do, and then we'll go over those like the next day. And it's just been a great experience. Like he included me in there was a tacos and tamales show, and he included me in that, and I got to do some stuff in the ring there too, so to get some kind of get more experience before I jumped into my first official match. And so I just been really grateful for everything that he's taught me and what he's allowed me to do so far.
Very good. I found the plug for my computer. It's about to die. Good answer. So, have you been watching any of Tito's matches to pick up any of his moves that you might want to try in the ring?
Yeah, I've been watching his matches. I think it's called the flying burrito. Like we worked on that one. Um, just trying to like he was a babyface his whole career, so just kind of watch how he, fired up, how he took heat, but not only him, like, you know, Paul Orndorff, watching him. I just got done watching Kurt Angle because he's more collegiate, and so that's probably going to be more my style, coming with the jujitsu background. Earlier today, I also watched the Ronda Rousey Charlotte Flair, and that was an amazing match, And they're so athletic, and just learning it and just watching how they move and things like that is really important, like how, when they're getting the heat, what happens when they're rising up, like how are they portraying all of that. So
Yes, and my computer just died even though I plugged it in, but I guess it was 5 seconds too late, so sorry for the delay there. Dig It at Dirt wants to know if you're gonna do the flying burrito.
maybe if I get a chance, we'll see. I can't guarantee it'll be perfect, but we'll give it a try.
John says, "You look amazing, Jenny."
Thanks.
Victor says, "You look gorgeous."
Thank you.
This whole next 45 minutes is just gonna be various compliments from the fans and you saying thank you. Naval Sailor would like to know favorite food. Let's hear your favorite food to eat and your favorite food to cook.
uh to cook, probably like chicken, because that's all I can cook. Like when I used to diet, I used to like boil it to try and get like every last ounce of sodium out of it. And there was like no flavor on it at all. It was the plainest thing ever. Growing up in Pennsylvania, my mom wasn't the best cook either. And so there was no flavor at all on our food. Like she did salt and maybe a little bit of pepper, and so like now I can eat the blandest foods and not complain about it because I just don't have a palate that adapted to like spice and flavor or anything like that. So like I'm good with plain food. So, and I'm not a good cook myself, but I am like we do have a Ukrainian background. So I'd probably say My favorite thing to cook that's actually edible for other people is probably a dish called galumpki. We call it cabbage rolls, but I always get to make that with my grandma. So it's probably just the time that I spend with my grandmother bonding. Like it's a great time, food in the kitchen. Like everyone loves that. Everyone gathers around, and so it takes like all day though, so we don't do it often. But that's probably my favorite experience of cooking. My favorite food. Oh God, I love food and I could eat all day long. I could eat like pizza, burgers, probably steak is my favorite food if I had to pick. But I also like could live on salads and salads I'll eat like lettuce and the dressing like super plain. So I'm not a very fancy eater, I guess, but barbecue all day long.
Yeah, I just finished a nice large steak before doing this interview. Bill wants to know if you're going to be back in Wichita in February, February 27th. World Class is doing that big show there with Sting at the Cotillion. You were in the crowd at the last show.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know if they have the card set for that one yet, in February, but if they would like to have me, that would be great. So we'll see.
how did the stem cells work out? We both had some stem cells recently. I'm noticing a difference this week the most. How are yours?
Mine are great. Like they are progressively getting better. I can see that every day. Like my knee was so bad, I couldn't even like if I was standing up to like bend it to do like a hamstring curl or like a quad stretch, I could not get it up on its own. And so like it was a problem. Like and I couldn't straighten it out. Like I still can't 100% straighten it out. But got the stem cells and got the stem cells in both legs. So that was good because the other one was, compensating for the bad one. And now I can bend it. I can almost straighten it. I can walk, which is great. Um, I didn't work out for 2 weeks after to try and rest it, but I also didn't rest it 100% just because I don't know, I'm me and I'm like very active. Like that night we went into New York City and walked around, which was not the smartest thing. But after I got home, I tried to rest it. I didn't work out. I actually just did legs now for the first time because it's not that long. It's only been 2 weeks. So but I've noticed so many changes. Like it used to hurt, like in bed at night, it would hurt just like laying there, and that's kind of stopped. So that's perfect because now it's not painful. It's almost straight. I can walk. Once I get it warm, like we worked really hard this week training. And so like now it's kind of like it needs a break for a day or two. But just being able to work like yesterday after practice, it felt amazing. Like there was no issues. I wasn't really limping. I like warmed it up good enough, stretched it, and it was super good. And we went like I would say like over an hour straight of running me through matches. So it held up. It's been great. Like I can't imagine if I didn't have it done. I don't know what I'd be doing, like hobbling into the ring. But it's been such a blessing having those. Like they were amazing.
Do you think it's going to help you in grappling too?
Yeah, for sure. Because I actually was gonna go into another world competition and I had to pull out because I did something to it in practice that day. And when I had someone look at it, they're like, "Oh yeah, I think your ACL's torn, your meniscus is torn." Like it was all torn, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like, and it had been swollen. It had swelled up. It was probably double to triple the size of the other one, and that was back at nationals and Nogi Worlds. Like it happened. I thought there was fluid that I was gonna have to take out, but it would like swell and then it would go back down. At one point, my entire leg was swelling from the knee down. Like it would swell after I was on it for a while. And then I was like, oh, this is not good. And when I did that at jujitsu and I had someone look at it, my leg was swollen a little. He's like, this is horrible. And I'm like, this is like a tenth of what it was weeks ago. So So I pulled out of that competition just because I didn't want to mess it up and I wanted to 100% focus on this match coming up and I didn't want to take any chances. My jujitsu game is De La Hiva a lot. And so if anyone's familiar with jujitsu, it's like wrapping the leg around someone else's, like a little snake thing. And if I couldn't do that, like I could have competed, but I know myself, like I instinctually would go for that. And if they are any good at defending it, like they'd pop it and it would put a lot of pressure on it. So I just didn't want to chance it. Right or wrong decision. I made it. I didn't compete. And then I just rested it, got the stem cells, and hopefully I'll be good. And it was the right decision because it's going to hold up for Saturday.
Well, when I went to get the stem cells, I had to buy Andrew dinner as well as a friend of his dinner. And then I see the pictures that they actually took you out to multiple feasts
Oh
and
my
you're out there partying it up in New York City. So you had a much better time than I did, I'm sure.
They treated me like a queen. It was amazing. Like they're doing this for me, and just that alone is amazing. Like I owe them so much. And then like they take me to dinner that night, and the chef like comes out, wants to make anything we wanted. Like it was the best food. Like Jersey has amazing food. And then the next day, AJ took us out again for pizza and it was so fun. And that pizza was amazing. I actually like brought some home on the plane because it was the day that we were leaving. So and then I wanted to diet during that time, which I couldn't because there was just all this amazing food. Like in the office they had like a cheese and meat spread, and I'm like, like it was so amazing. Like I have never been treated so great before. I was like blown away. Like I didn't even know what to say.
Yeah, they did have food in the office when I was there too, but I see that you went into an actual surgery room, so you were actually out of the office too. But let's give them a plug here to the Prodigy stem cell people that they hooked us both up with stem cells.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that. And I understand they might even be sponsoring my upcoming Great North Wrestling events, which would be pretty cool. Which sadly, Jenny might not be able to be on because of the Canadian government only allowing people with vaccinations in, sadly.
We'll see. We'll
So
see.
either that or someone's gonna have to like kidnap you and vaccinate you.
And vaccinate me.
It would be hard. Oh, by the way, this is a good question for you. You saw the Seth Rollins getting taken down by that 5'4" fat guy. What should he have done? You're a national and world champion. What
So
should he have done in that case other than just let the guy take him down? And the guy had control because he didn't have guard.
yeah, so I saw that. I mean, and I read the comments too. Like the guy came running at him. I guess like he wasn't aware of it. He wasn't watching it, and I 100% can see that happening because sometimes like I'm not aware of things happening right in front of my face. But once he, tackled him, Seth went down to the ground. Like Seth rolled back. Like all he had to do was like pop him over, take the foot, and then come up on top. Like, but he stayed on the bottom, I think. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I guess he didn't want to cause any damage to the guy because he didn't want to be liable, which I understand. But at the same time, when someone attacks you, like you got to handle your business. Like you got to take care of that and not let that go. So I probably, if it was me, I would have just flipped him and went right on top and like ground and pound.
Yeah, I would have sprawled and face planted the guy straight into the cement and then pounded him out from there.
Yes. If I am not that quick, like I probably would have not been aware enough to sprawl back quick enough and he probably would have got like under me. So I always pull guard. So like I'm used to being my butt. So I totally would have allowed that to happen, but then I would have swept him and ended up on top anyway. So
And anyone wondering, Jenny and I actually had a grappling match once and she won. So listen to her fighting advice over mine. There's a fan on here that wants to know if you're going to be a high flyer.
um not this weekend because we have not really went up into many of the ropes. We'll see. Like I've had practice going to like the trampoline park and flipping. Um, but with my knees, like I've tried not to jump a ton and I haven't practiced those yet. So we're gonna be pretty basic this first time and then grow from there. Like there's just so much going on. Like it was so quick. There was so much to learn. I'm just trying to get a good foundation and I really like the old school wrestling, so I'm gonna try to mimic that. Uh, I know like nowadays, like with like AEW and WWE, it seems like a Cirque du Soleil show. I'm like, these are amazing. They're like flying everywhere. Like, I don't know if I can do that. Like, I would not be opposed to trying, but I don't know if that's going to be something that would come naturally to me. And then there's other people who do it so well. Like, I'm not going to do it better than them because it comes more naturally to them. So I need to stick to what I can do good and focus on my own strengths. Try to do everything, but kind of capitalize on the strengths I have.
Yeah, and there's enough people doing that high flying stuff these days, and your expertise is grappling. So I don't see why you should do that, other than, of course, Tito's finishing move, which I do think. I don't know if you should have that as your finishing move, but I would like to see that from you.
Yeah.
We'll
And
see.
that was from the ground, like, that wasn't from the top rope or anything. And as I watch matches, like, back Sin sent me some, like, we even went to, like, black and white matches, and so, like, old school, and they really didn't leave the ground that much, like, they definitely weren't flying off of, 10-foot ladders and the top ropes like they are now, so I'm gonna stick to the ground for this one, I think.
Yeah, and you never saw Ronda Rousey do any of that. Have you watched any of her WWE stuff? Speaking of her, since
Yeah,
you guys have
so
similar.
yeah, specifically today, I watched the one with her and Charlotte Flair, and she actually went up to the top rope, and they specifically said that. They're like, "This is not like her. She doesn't do high flying stuff." And then there wasn't a move like that. She got stopped or whatever, and so I was like, "Oh, okay." Like she had a great career, or still does in WWE, and and she wasn't a super high flyer. So I think there's kind of niches for everyone, and if you are really good at what you do, like you don't have to do, something that someone else is great at because you have your own uniqueness about you.
From my understanding, Ronda Rousey is the highest paid female in the history of WWE as a wrestler. So,
I did not know that. That's
and
crazy.
Charlotte had the best match of Survivor Series, which I ended up seeing last month.
Yeah.
Billy says, "Do you want to go in NXT or would you prefer to stay in the Indies?"
I do not know. I just want to have a successful match on Saturday and go from there. I just want to take it one day at a time. Like I just want to get through Saturday and do well and see what happens and see what opportunities come up. Like I'm not opposed to anything, but I'm not trying to put all my eggs in one basket. Like so far, I've loved this journey and I'm super grateful for all the opportunities that I've been given. So I'm just gonna keep taking them and doing my best, and hopefully we'll see where it goes.
And the cool thing is, you already have some haters and you haven't even had one match yet.
Yeah, I do.
So that's a good sign. You're
Yeah,
already popular enough to have people that hate you without ever wrestling.
they're very passionate about their hate for me. Like they comment on my Instagram posts. They're like, it's gonna be terrible, and I'm like, it might be, but if it's good or terrible, like you're here to crap on it either way, so here we go. um but then like some people have even gotten my cell phone number and have sent me messages, and like they need to just calm down. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, there has been lots of stories over the years about divas getting stalked and stuff, but you're one of the few that I wouldn't be that concerned about. I'd be more concerned about the people trying to stalk you or trying to attack you.
I would be okay. I can handle my own, I think.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there were some weirdos in LA there or in Hollywood after that PCW Ultra show when we were there, weren't there?
It was like a Halloween costume party. Like they just there must have been like a private room upstairs in the restaurant that we were at, and they just kept coming randomly. And they looked like they were like at a specific like uh I don't know, not like it like they were all kind of dressed the same. And then another group came and they were all kind of dressed the same in a different genre. We're like, what is going on? And there was just and there was so many people. Like it was after the event, and we were so hungry because I mean I hadn't eaten all day. I don't think you had either, and like it took forever to get served, and then we sat like next to this table that was so loud and obnoxious, and it was a very interesting experience to say the least. Yeah.
The other weird thing for anyone that's not from LA, we had to drive like 25 minutes just to find somewhere to eat, and it wasn't even that late, which you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, not in LA. Like in the small town in Pennsylvania where I'm from, like you would expect that. Like stuff shuts down at like 8 p.m. And you know, good luck if you're not going to eat at a gas station. But in Vegas now where I'm at, like it's open. It's like a 24-hour town, same as like New York City. Like you can always find somewhere to eat. But you would think that being such a big city that there would be places at least open. There's like one random place like 25 minutes down the street, like the only place that was open too. And it wasn't even that late. So
No, it wasn't that late. But if anyone wants to bring Jenny a jar of pickles in the Dallas area on Saturday, apparently she really likes pickles.
I killed like I when I was younger, I would eat like pickles every day. Like I could kill a whole jar myself. And then I love like the pickle juice. I would totally drink the pickle juice after I ate all the pickles. And my mom would go crazy because she hated it. She's like, "Don't drink that. It's not good for you." And actually, I found out since I was a little kid and didn't know anything that it is good for you. It's actually a better way to hydrate yourself than even Gatorade. So
Well, I think the fans could write in the comments if they'd like to see this, but I think we should record Jenny all in one shot eating an entire jar of pickles
oh my
and
God,
then
no, no,
drinking the juice.
no, not anymore. That's way too much sodium now. I'm trying to stay on a good diet, but I totally will drink a glass of pickle juice if it's a good jar for sure.
I've never heard of that before. That's very interesting.
They're so good.
Someone wants to know if we could see a submission move in your match since you're such a submissions expert.
I would imagine that that would be my go-to because that's where I'm most comfortable. So for sure, you're gonna see at least the mission attempts like arm bars, chokes, maybe even leg locks. But yeah, submissions all day. So
Kevin asks if you're wearing pants.
I am today.
Okay.
The last two interviews, I don't think I was. So
Oh, well, thank you
I am
for
today. I
dressing up for
actually
our
just
viewers.
came from practice, and so I have my shorts on that I was practicing in.
Well, now you got to stand up because now the fans
Oh
want to
my
see.
gosh, they're so tiny. They're so cute. I just got them.
So you actually practiced in your wrestling gear.
This isn't what I'm gonna wear. So these are just shorts I got. My wrestling gear is still getting finished. I was gonna practice in it, but it's not done yet. So I actually uh so my mom's like decorating it and she made me try it on. It was like a week or so ago. And I'm always messing around. And so I put it on as like this like bra top thing. And I was like, like totally flexing my chest. I'm like, and it popped off. And she's like, oh my God, like, what are we gonna do? And so then like back to the drawing board to figure out like how to keep this top shut during the match. So I think we've got something.
Yeah, I actually noticed during that Blood Hunter match, which by the way has almost 200,000 views on Facebook, which is pretty impressive. You almost lost your top when you got slammed onto Scorpio at the end. That looked like it was painful. How's your back after that? And were you at all concerned that you were going to have a wardrobe malfunction?
I was a little concerned I was gonna have a wardrobe malfunction, but that was probably even before, like, I took all those beatings. Like, it was I didn't know what to wear, and so, like, I got something, and it just had, like, a tie in the back, and my mom's like, "I don't know, I think it's gonna fall off, it'll probably come undone," and I'm like, "I don't think so, like, I'm not gonna be doing, much, I'm just gonna valet, Scorpio out there and, stay out of action, I guess." But that didn't happen at all. But when I got slammed, I was like, "Oh gosh, like this is is not good." I thought it was gonna be like down to my waist. But that was I had never been slammed like that. And so that was definitely an experience. And getting slammed by someone like the Blood Hunter, I was like, oh my gosh, like he's a big dude. And so with a lot of power too. So it was quite traumatic to get slammed like that. And I thought I was good. Like it took me a while to get up. It's not on because I saw the video that was posted, but like in the actual show, like I was struggling for a while. But
Now, what was worse, the slam or the kiss in that
oh
match?
god. Kiss like it was, one, I wasn't expecting it, and two, like it was like, oh god, like a really firm, like and so I was just like, at first I was shocked, and then I didn't even know how to react. So a little bit frozen, I guess, at first, but that was very unexpected, and I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't look like you were holding back your slaps there after that at
No,
all.
I definitely was not holding back my slaps. Like I was able to I totally let loose and just let him have it. So and then he kissed me again. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like what is going on?" Uh,
Yeah,
so
this is beginning to sound a little X-rated. So
yeah,
also Kevin
then I
Sullivan
did
was
have
in the
it, but I
match
had
too,
him in
right?
a triangle, so at least I sort of got revenge. I had that triangle.
Yeah, and you did some damage. I saw his arm later on, and I think you truly did something pretty serious to his arm. And I guess we'll see if that affects him in his match against Carlito coming up on Saturday. Which, what's going to happen? I mean, you had all this stuff going on with the Blood Hunter and Kevin Sullivan like a month ago, and now you're all going to be in Southern Junction in Texas together Saturday night, different matches. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a bit awkward, I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna run into each other. Like Kevin was choking me, and I gave him a few good shots, gave him like a shot to the junk, and definitely had Blood Hunter in a triangle. And I'm glad I did damage. Like he just can't go around kissing people that you know when he wants to. So I don't know what's gonna happen. It'll be interesting. I'm sure we'll all run into each other. It might be a little stressful and tense, but we'll navigate it. I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah, Kevin, I think you screwed up Kevin pretty bad because I didn't even notice him half the match because you every time he'd come after you, you'd do something. And I mean, the guy's 72 years old. It didn't look like you took it easy on him.
Well, he didn't take it easy on me. Like he was choking me and my neck was like all into the ropes and back. And so when I got the chance to kick him, like I totally did. And then I was able to put him in a rear naked choke, and I just, held on and squeezed that a little. And then I stopped him from interfering, in the match too. So
Apparently, the fans liked your tights.
my pants.
Yes. Someone wants to know, have you chosen your entrance music yet?
I have chosen my entrance music. It is gonna be different if I wrestle again because I think that we have to have original music after going forward from December. So I would love to keep it. I think it suits me really well. We cut it like it's not a straight song, like we chopped it up into pieces how I wanted it, like how I want it to sound. And so I think it's gonna be good. Like it gets me pumped up. So the beat is really good, and it's like I don't know. I love it. So hopefully everyone else will too.
So it's going to be a surprise.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Do you know if you're going to be before or after intermission yet?
I don't know. I haven't gotten the order of fights, so I'm not sure.
Well, if anyone's watching this from the Dallas area, there's also a special deal this weekend where if you buy an adult general admission ticket, which is only $10, you can bring in two kids for free, which is absolutely crazy. I would never do that for one of my Great North Wrestling events, but Jerry Bostic is very kind doing this deal. So it's well worth it just to be there for that historic night where it's the birth of the star or she falls flat on her face. We never hear from her again.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll see. I mean, I could go either way. So you want to
Well, I
be
think a lot of people in wrestling already know who you are without even having a match, and people are interested because you've been along this journey with us. You've been taking us along with you, I should say, since you began training. So I think there's going to be a lot of people that are excited to see your match. What is more pressure? Knowing that people are going to compare you to Tito, or that everyone's been following your journey and they're expecting you to do really well in your first match?
probably that everyone's been following the journey and they're expecting me to do really well. I usually I mean, can they compare me to Tito? He's done it for so long. Like they see him as an icon. He's in the WWE, Hall of Fame. Like, of course, if they compare me to him now, like it's not a really accurate thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. But watching my journey, like there's some cool stuff that you've posted on your channel, like different moves I've done, and just being able to execute them and put on a good show. But I mean, at the end of the day, like fighters fight, and that's what's in my background. So I mean, how bad could it really be? Like it turns into a street fight, like that's okay. Like I have experience with that. So I mean, I think I'll be okay. Like I hope I'll be okay. But and there's always going to be room to improve. Like I mean, I've been doing jujitsu 7 years. Like there's always room to improve. You watch your matches and you see openings where you missed it, and so this is my first one. So I have to be a little bit kinder to myself, watch it, see what I can improve, and then go from there. So wherever I start, whether it's like up here, down here, the goal is to go up. So I'm a super determined person. I don't give up. I train really hard. I want to learn, and so even if it's crap, like it can't be that. Hopefully, it's not that bad, but the next one will be better.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I'll be there covering it, and I'll even have some of my own cameras there recording it on top of the world class cameras. So I'm excited about seeing this match. Any word from Tito? Good luck or anything like that?
No, no words from him right now. So I haven't. I've tried to reach out, but I haven't heard back from him in a little bit.
Well, there's lots of words of encouragement from fans on here that are all wishing you luck, and they're very fond of you with tons of compliments that I won't go into with all of them.
I mean, I have
Um,
talked to my half brother. He's super encouraging about it. He wished me luck, so he was super excited for it. So, I mean, I am getting some positive feedback.
Now, I already know the answer to this. You have a massive dog, but
Oh,
John Stewart says, "Are you a cat or a dog person?"
a dog person. I'm allergic to cats. I actually one of there was like, you know, 3 people I train with, and some of them have cats. And the one day, like they must have petted their cat before they came to practice, and like I was in a headlock. Like I got hives all over my chest and my face. I was like all itchy. And that wasn't even me being around their cat. Like that was just me being around their t-shirt that may have been around their cat. And so definitely no cats for me. I'm very, very allergic. But dogs, I love them. But I'm actually allergic to some dogs too, which is strange. So, um,
We have that in common. I'm allergic to cats and some dogs.
yeah, it's harsh. Like you see this cute
Yeah.
little animal and you just can't, you're like, oh no, you're gonna take me out because I can't breathe. So I need to stay away from you.
Now, I don't think I'm allergic to your dog, but I'm afraid of it from the stories you've said that you can't walk this thing because it's a danger to society, apparently.
So we got this dog. He was 4 weeks old, and I know you're not supposed to get dogs that early, but we just lucked out. Like we actually got him off Craigslist, and the guy said that he had stopped. Well, the litter had stopped like feeding from the mother that day or the day before, and he listed them in like on Craigslist. And so we went to go see them, and I ended up getting my dog, and my mom got his brother. And so then we took them home, and they were like this big. Like I'll have to send a picture. Like you could fit him in the palm of your hand, probably like 2 pounds or something. And he was so little yet, so he couldn't eat. So we had to bottle feed him for weeks, and like it was like having a baby. Like we bottle fed him, we were up with him all night, and then like in a matter of time, this is what happens. And there they are. I don't know where they came from, but that's my dog, Blaze. So this
Oh
puppy,
my God, your dog has the same name as the Blood Hunters manager.
I know, I know.
Oh my God. They're
He had
going to
a
have to fight to see who can keep the
he's
name.
so 3. So then we like tried to walk him, and I got him mainly for like being a guard dog. And so where my mom wanted to like socialize her dog, like I didn't really want to. Like I wanted him to be around a certain amount of people, not hate everyone else, but like not allow anyone else in that space. And so when we tried to walk him at the park, like he would go crazy. I remember this one time he was just barking at everyone around. And then this guy was like, "Take your hellhound home." And I was like, "Okay." And we just like packed him up and took him home. Like he gets a lot of exercise in the backyard and stuff, but he's definitely not one to socialize or get to know new people. So, but he's the sweetest thing. Like we could open his mouth, stick our hand in, like sweetest puppy ever, but like to other people. And but that's exactly what, you know, I was hoping for. So scored with that one.
Yeah, because we all know about the crime problems in Vegas, apparently, right?
Apparently, those crime problems are out of control. You never know what can happen on any given street corner.
Sunset Moth wants to know, would you either wrestle or train in Japan? Japan's known for their wrestling dojos, even for the women, and they have a bunch of women's companies out there that are more hard hitting than the American style.
Yeah, I know. I actually was Jeff Cobb was in town, and I was able to talk with him a lot. Like he wrestles for New Japan. I don't know like if I would ever wrestle in Japan. I guess it would be an interesting opportunity if it ever presented itself. But yeah, I was trying to get like trying to pick his brain because you know he's a veteran. He's been doing it for a long time, and so it was super interesting, kind of learning about his experiences over there and kind of the differences between like organizations here in the States as opposed to in other countries. So,
Now, what does this dog eat? Someone's asking. It's pretty massive. How much do you have to feed this beast?
oh, he will eat all the time. Like we don't give him table food, but we do give him like raw beef, and then he eats dog food. But like sometimes we'll cook like My mom will do the cooking for him and her dog because she treats her dog like she used to meal prep for her dog, and it was just so silly. But she would like meal prep like chicken and things and veggies and stuff. So, but pretty much my dog will eat anything that you give him because he just is an eater. So, and he'll drink like a cat, like he just drinks constantly, and he makes a mess. Like it's the sloppiest drinking for a dog I've ever seen. Like he'll drink and there'll be like water splashed everywhere. So
Could we see you ride the dog?
ride the dog. I don't know about riding the dog. Come here, come here.
It would be interesting to see.
Oh God, he's so big. Say
You
hi.
mentioned you've been in your share of street fights. What's the toughest street fight you've ever been in?
Oh gosh, I haven't been in that many, but I was in one as a stupid, girl fighting over a guy once, and it was so stupid, but definitely rearranged her face, so I guess that's good.
So the girl wrestlers should really be watching themselves around you. Have you
Yeah.
watched AEW at all?
Yeah, like I've watched Britt Baker a lot. I like her promos a lot. I like her wrestling style. So yeah, she's probably the one that I've watched the most. And Sammy Guerrero. I don't want to say that wrong.
Someone's asking if you've seen Grunt, the wrestling movie, and I will already be able to answer this that I bet you she hasn't.
I have not, but I will look it up.
It is on YouTube, but I don't think it's going to be something you're going to like. Are you familiar with China at all?
Yes.
Yeah, what did you think of her?
I mean, she was super strong. Like she was a great female wrestler. I think she was great. Like I know she had not the best time and had some sad stories around her, but um as far as wrestling, she was a super dominant woman in wrestling at that time. So I used to watch her a lot actually.
Tim says, "Where's your bed? Do you sleep on the floor?"
No, it's on the other side of this fireplace.
Oh wow, you even have a fireplace. Could you give us a tour?
No, this is a stand. Like the computer is it's not a laptop, but like it's on the other side of here. It's a pretty big room, so
Oh wow. I think John Moxley recently bought a place in Vegas or something, I heard. But you probably don't know who he is.
I don't, but they have really nice places out here. Like even the apartment complexes, I mean everything's so new, fairly new, so it's really good shape, good condition, upkept well. So it's a really good place to live.
David is letting us know that apparently there's people making fake accounts of you already. Are you aware of this?
What? No, where?
Tell us more, David.
Yeah, tell me more, David. Like on Instagram or something?
I don't pay enough attention to even know. Naval Sailor wants to know that will you have merch on Saturday?
I will have merch on Saturday. I've got t-shirts coming. I have photos, obviously. And then I hope they're here in time, but they may not be. I have super cool beanies. And then like the Smash Buddy pillows, but they're not going to be done in time.
I hope they come soon. Maybe by the next Dallas show.
It will be, yeah, by
Which,
January.
yeah, it's going to be coming to Dallas and Fort Worth in January back to back. I think the 23rd and 24th.
Yeah, I think it's around that time. But the beanies are actually my favorite. They're super cool. They've got my logo on it and they say Ariba on it. And the design is really cool. It's going to be winter, like everyone wears hats. So those are my favorite.
I always wear hats or hoods too. Some people also troll me for it. Shane says he thought he was the only one that drank pickle juice.
No, it's so good. It's so good. And I don't like even care. Like they could be like the kosher dills, they can be the sweet pickles, they can be the bread and butter ones. Those were like my favorite ones. All of them. All of it, I'll drink
Fans, please, someone bring her some pickles on
it.
Saturday in Irving, Texas. If I see that someone does, I'm going to force her to eat the whole jar on tape.
I'm trying to diet so I look okay, like look good in the ring. So I probably would eat the whole jar at that point after.
Yeah, you'll be so hungry and you probably won't eat before. Nico wants to know, speaking of your physique, could you do some flexes and poses for your fans watching you on here?
Oh gosh, I can't eat like I don't really have good bicep. I don't know. Back is my favorite, but I can't even like it's bad. I haven't like worked out for a hot minute because of like the stem cells and being busy. I actually need to go tomorrow and get
Actually,
back
could we
in.
see your back again? That was actually quite impressive.
Ah, back's my favorite.
The question is, would you have a bodybuilding pose down with Blaze?
Maybe I need to like diet for like 2 weeks though first. I've seen the videos that he posted. She's pretty lean, like so. I need like a few weeks of dieting, but
Well, if the fans would like to see that on a future event, the bodybuilding pose down between Blaze and Jenni Santana, that would be interesting for sure. I think the fans would want to see that.
yeah. And I've seen those workouts. Like I'll have to do a workout with her one day, maybe too.
Yes, because I have been doing workout videos lately because the fans have been enjoying them. So why not?
Yeah.
Daryl wants to know, would you ever be in UFC someday?
Probably not. Like I go to UFC events all the time. A lot of the people I train with are in the UFC for jujitsu, but jujitsu, like there's no striking, so there's no face strikes. So I probably would shy away from UFC just because I don't want to get my, face rearranged. But I'll stick to jujitsu. But even in jujitsu, numerous times I have had black eyes, and one time it lasted for like 2 months. I thought it was going to be a permanent black eye because apparently that's a thing, but luckily it went away. So probably not UFC for me.
Yeah, I think your chances of making money faster are also in wrestling because they need more female stars in wrestling. And we'll see how you do in your first match. But the fans like you. And the hardest part, you could be the greatest technician in the world. And if you don't catch on with the fans, you're another Dean Malenko, who I'm sure you've never heard of because he was boring.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you have to be like spontaneous and good at what you're doing. Like it's a total package. So I'm trying, trying day by day, but we'll see. Hopefully Wednesday or Saturday goes really well. And that'll be like one checkbox down. So we'll see.
Now, as far as scars, a fan was asking on here earlier, could you show us any scars?
So these I got because hold on, not good with the camera. What elbow was that? This one. Okay. So these yesterday I made the brilliant decision to do wrestling practice without my elbow pads, and I was like, oh, I'll be fine with it. Maybe I won't wear them to wrestle. And then, like, I don't know, 40 minutes into it, I was like, what is going on? And then I looked down and they're like rubbed raw. And so then I had to put the elbow pads on for the rest of the practice. And it was so painful. Like I forgot about my knee pain because my elbows were in so much pain. And every time they like touched the ground or rubbed, and I was like, oh my God, like what is going on? So to sum that up, elbow pads will be on, and it wasn't the smartest idea to not wear them. So I don't know, like if I'm just not experienced enough and I'm rubbing when I do like hip tosses and stuff, it's just I don't know, like I'm doing something wrong that I need the elbow pads on for now.
Yeah, it's always better to have pads, especially when training.
Yeah,
Avoid injuries as much as possible because you don't want to have to miss any matches.
Yeah.
What was your toughest ever grappling match?
My toughest grappling match, I would say the one that defined me the most was in Houston, Texas as a blue belt. I, you like it's kind of like the opposite. Like you come in with like this big ego as like a white belt or blue belt, and then you kind of get humbled and you realize you don't know crap. And as you learn more, like you realize you don't know enough or you don't know. And so as a blue belt, travel to Houston. I'm like, I'm gonna do so great at this. And I lost that match by I think it was like 2 points or something. But she had me in spider guard and I could not pass it. And I'm like, I was so infuriated at it. And it was so difficult for me. But afterwards, I found out like she was like a world champion and I had just started competing. So it was like sad for a little bit, but it also like fueled me. And like that was the match that changed everything where I was like, I want to compete. I want to be on the mats. I want to learn. Like, you got to put your ego aside and realize that you don't know as much as you think you do. And training more and competing more is only going to make you better. So that match was a total turning point for me. And they always say like you learn, you lose, and maybe that's not always true, but that one it 100% was true for me. So that was like a huge thing for
Yeah, I can imagine. Somebody wants to know if you have TikTok or Instagram. I know you have Instagram.
me. I have Instagram. I don't have TikTok.
Yeah, and she only just started a Twitter. So if anyone wants to follow her on Twitter, what is your actual Twitter and Instagram? And you have a
My
Facebook
Twitter,
too.
yeah, I have a Facebook too. My Twitter is Jenni_Santana_, and I believe my Instagram is that as well. So Jenni_Santana_. But I really want to know who like what the fake accounts are on and what they're posting. I'm flattered, imitation.
Well, you even have a fan account. I noticed somebody invited me to your fan account without having a pro wrestling match. So that's pretty cool that a fan has actually decided to make you a fan account before you even wrestle.
Yeah, that's on Facebook, I believe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that you can just search that. Oh, Alan wants to see you against Blaze in a cage match.
I don't think she wrestles, right?
I think she's like, well, yeah, she was a manager just like you were the last show.
Yeah.
But
So maybe eventually.
from my understanding, she has a martial arts background, and I actually use her as a bodyguard because I have crazy fans too. So now I have to bring Blaze. I don't know if the Blood Hunter is going to approve of this, but I've been using her as a bodyguard recently because she's very intimidating.
You might have some problems soon.
Somebody says keep you away from MMA. Yeah, don't mess up your face. There's these fans are funny. I'm not even going to say some of them. Some of these, somebody wants to drink your bath water. That one's kind of funny.
Oh my god, that is a thing where like people actually sell it and make like. I've heard that. I do not sell me bathwater, but I've heard that that's a thing. Who knew, right?
Now Ryan wants to know between WWE and AEW, which would you choose?
I don't know. I'd probably have to have one of them interested in me. So I don't think
I
just
guarantee you will have WWE scouts watching your first match, and they probably watched your PCW appearance. I guarantee it, 100%.
I got like, disclaimer like 5 months, folks. Be gentle on your critiques.
Mike D, who's in love with you, apparently wants to know your thoughts on Miss Elizabeth. Do you remember her?
I do. Like she was one of the best ballets, and so people have actually commented like they could see me like as a Miss Elizabeth type. So I mean, she was great. She was everything that you'd want in a ballet. So I mean, what you can't complain. You can't. I don't think you could even critique her. So she was just amazing at what she did.
Somebody says you're the best looking woman in combat sports.
Oh, thanks.
Do you have a favorite finisher that another wrestler does?
A favorite finish. I love like the high flying stuff. So when they can like jump off the top rope and, s- uh like circle 2 times and slam on someone, I that it's super impressive to see. But then, I always go back to what I know. Like I love submissions. Like Rondo when she was in MMA, like it was the armbar. So, her submission in WWE, like it's all the same. Even like Charlotte Flair, like the figure, what is the 8 she does? Like that, it just I like submission. Like I don't know. That's my wheelhouse. So that's what I what I always go back to.
Ryan wants to know if you think you could beat Mickey James in a match. I don't know if you know who Mickey James is. She's a former WWE champion who's
I
turned
do
into a country
know
singer.
I do know who she is because I think it was the last time we had an interview, someone said I look like her, and so I looked her up, and I was like, "Thanks." Um, Super good compliment. She's, very
Oh,
attractive.
you're far better looking than her.
Oh, thanks. I was like, "Oh, that was an awesome compliment. Thank you for that." I don't know if I could take her. I I mean, yeah, right? Like, now I think that I have all the tools that I need. So at some point, like once you have everything you need to know, like what's gonna win something, like the heart determination, and I would be hard pressed to find someone who has
That's one
more of
of your
that.
trolls right now messaging you.
Maybe, yeah. No, that was just a reminder for me.
Oh, there you go. I'm not just saying this because you're talking to me. I actually don't find Mickey James attractive, but this guy says much better looking for sure.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Do you do any gaming?
No, I don't do gaming. I really
No.
don't do gaming.
What was your last gaming console that you played? Mine was Super Nintendo.
Oh my gosh, mine was probably I think I totally got, like you can buy the old school games, like it used to be Atari because I remember my uncles had that when I was super little. But you could buy, like, I bought one of it. I bought it one time, and it was like the old joystick, and all the games were like built in there. I think that was about. But I'm not a big gamer, like, and I hardly watch TV. Like, I'm always doing something and training, and by the time I get done training, like I pass out. Like, I'm not even a movie person. Like, I'll start a movie and fall asleep. Like, I just once I get done training, I'll like come home and shower and just crash like I'm a sleeper. So
Do you find Becky Lynch's accent annoying?
is that her real accent?
Let's hope not.
'Cause I was
'Cause
actually watching a few things that she was on, and I was like, oh, I didn't realize that I didn't realize that she sounded like that. But
some somebody watching, I don't know if this comment is to make me laugh or to try to impress you, but he's really stoned and hung like a mutant elephant.
congratulations, Bill.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting there with the stoneness, but I'm actually still going to do yoga after this. What do you do for stretching?
So I used to do hot yoga, which was awesome. I quit doing it like the pandemic. We have to wear masks indoors here, and I am just not like I don't know. I can't. You're already in 105-degree room in hot yoga with like 75% humidity. Like I don't think I would be able to wear a mask and survive doing hot yoga. So I haven't done that yet until they dropped the mask policy. So I just kind of stretch. I used to be a cheerleader in high school, and I will go back to those stretches habitually, like after I train or in wrestling before I train. So I'll just do a little bit of those. And I'm pretty flexible. So it doesn't, I just kind of keep up the flexibility I have.
Nervins would like to know what's your favorite movie?
Oh my gosh, my favorite movie. There's so many good movies. I would say comedies. I love stand-up comedy. But my favorite comedy movie has to be My Best Friend's Girlfriend. It's really funny. Check it out if you haven't seen it.
My best friend's girlfriend. You didn't sell me on it enough. Why would someone like me enjoy watching that?
It was good. Like the guy is it's with Dane Cook. Like so he's obviously a comedian, super funny guy. Like he is a total like a-hole and will date these like their boyfriends by him. Like they'll hire him to go out with their ex-girlfriends after they break up and he's like a complete d-bag and treats him like crap and then they realize like, oh, I had such a good thing going because this guy's such an asshole. That's all that's out there. And then they go back to the boyfriend and that's like the gimmick of him and then he meets like Kate Hudson and things go different but it's you got to check it out.
I might have to do that. And then I'll review it and I'll say it's your favorite movie and I'm reviewing it because you put it over to me. So I really appreciate you coming on. The fans really love hearing what you've been up to. And of course, they can meet you if they live in Dallas this weekend because we're both actually going to be there. December the 11th, this Saturday, Christmas Star Wars. Mick Foley is going to be there, WWE Hall of Famer, just like Tito. Eric Embry, Fuego del Sol from AEW, Charlie Haas, Jacob Fatu, Carlito, Kevin Sullivan, the Blood Hunter, Blaze, many, many more. And of course, Jenni will be there with merchandise. And if anyone wants to bring her the pickles, she won't take pickles over like money, but she'll appreciate the gesture.
I will appreciate the gesture.
Is there anything you would like to plug before we leave?
Maybe just my own Instagram account. Like follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. Um, let me know who has fake accounts. Don't be so mean if it's not your if it doesn't meet your expectations. Like sometimes the first time doesn't, but it'll get better.
Oh, come on. Just go in there and destroy her and go as hard as you can and don't hold anything back. It's better to go more intense and get in trouble for it.
Break some bones. It's okay. They
Yes.
heal. I've had mine broken before.
I have never broken a bone. Somehow, I think I drink too much milk.
Oh, I broke a finger before. My arm was broken before. Pretty sure my foot was broken like right before a competition before. On the X-ray, you could see this little piece like dangling off of the bone, but it's got to tape that up and keep going.
And all of that you did for free for those tournaments. That's how tough you are. You actually paid probably to
Yeah,
enter.
I pay to go in them. Yeah, you have to pay the entry fee.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people ask me why I stopped competing, and it's like I got sick of paying for this stuff.
And then traveling, it can come out to like $1,000 for a weekend just till you travel, till you get like a car, till you get the hotel, like your food. It's easy to drop like almost $1,000 for a competition, especially if it's not in your hometown. So
Well, Ace says you got some shoulders. We might see more of that if that bodybuilding competition ever happens.
yeah,
I would do it in Great North Wrestling if Canada ever lets you in.
if they smuggle me in.
Well, I'll close this off. Nico says this was a legendary interview. He's a big fan of yours. And I'll let you close this off with a message about your match this weekend. What do you have to say? Your final thoughts to this is airing on the Hannibal TV YouTube channel, the World Class Pro Wrestling YouTube channel, the SWE Fury YouTube channel, the World Class Facebook page, and the Hannibal TV Facebook page, which everyone should like because we stream all of our streams on there pretty much. But for everyone watching, what do you have to say about this match this weekend to close off?
I just want to say that I haven't been training that long. My knee is a little bit hurt. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tape it up. Fighters fight. I'm going to bring it. And so I'm just going to go in there, handle business, and at the end of the day, come out on top because that's what I've been raised for. So
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and